really two things that you need to know about geometry that will help you in this exam. The first is you set equal. You set two things equal. The other is they add up to, and then there's some options in this fill in the blank. It could be 180 is the most common, it could be 90, it could be 360, could be a few others, okay? So when you look at this problem here, do you think you set these two expressions equal to each other, or do you think they add up to something?
I say they set to equal to each other.
Yes. So you're gonna set those equations equal to each other, and I want you to solve for x.
Okay, 1 second. I got 3x equals 10.
Try again here. So did you move the 5x or the 7x?
I moved the 5x, so I got 12x.
You're subtracting it though, aren't you?
Oh, I'm at 40. 40.
Okay.
I did this wrong. I did this one.
Still doesn't work out great. Yeah, because it's gonna be 2x minus 35. Okay, and then 5 on the left side.
Yep.
Okay, so you're gonna add 35 to both sides.
X equals 20.
Yeah, x is 20. Okay,
I
and
was
is that
making fun of it.
and is that what it asks for? Does it want the value of x?
Yeah, that's asking what that is.
Yes. Okay. All right, darn it, it did do this. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking at a different screen than I normally look at. So let me go grab this and let's work on this other one together. Okay, so here is our new question. Okay, so here's our new question. Now, sometimes the questions will say not drawn to scale. Does this one say not drawn to scale or not, any wording like that? Do you see that anywhere?
No.
No. So you can assume that these are parallel. Okay, and you can assume a few other things here, like these lines are parallel. Okay, you've seen that parallel symbol before, but then they actually go on to like tell you that. They say in the figure shown, line J is parallel to line K and line L is parallel to line M. So they, like, the thing that you thought was true is confirmed by what's written there. Okay, now they want the value of x. Okay, so we need to just do a quick review here. When you have two parallel lines and they are cut by a transversal, and let's say this is x, and which can do you remember that? Well, actually, I guess this will be tough here. This angle is also x.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and those are called corresponding angles. All right, and that's kind of the big one you want to go to here. So when you look at this picture, can you think of what angle corresponds to 40?
X.
Well, maybe. Okay, maybe it visually looks like it, but if you look at like this is also 40 up here. Do you see that?
Okay, yeah.
But we're kind of going the wrong direction. But but now this is also 40. Can you see that?
Yep.
Yeah. And so you might just say, oh, well, x is 40, and it is. X is absolutely 40 because these are vertical angles now and they're congruent. But you got to be careful with that. You can also kind of go off the reasonableness of it, like what is the most reasonable answer? And x, x is an acute angle. It's definitely not 80. It's definitely not 100. All right, let's look at another one here.
Was the way you wanted me to do it to add 40 and 80 together?
No.
Okay.
No, I want you, I'm trying to show you on the visual stuff that you can actually make some assumptions. You can be more, you know, with visual stuff, you can just sort of like go with what you think is best. So I want you to read this and then tell me the value of X.
Gee. For line of segment AC shown, the length of line segment BC is 2 times the length of line segment AB. Which equation represents this situation?
So if you need to read it again, but what is the value of X based on the
10.
information? It's 10. Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to look at the entire question. So they want the equation which represents this situation. Now, when you look at these 4 answers, are there any answers that are not an equation? Are there any of these that do not have an equal sign?
Yes.
Which
C.
one? So C is gone. C has to be gone.
It's D because there's a 2 in A and B that's not needed.
Well, it's the only one where it works. Like, is 10 plus 2 equal to 20? No. Is 10 plus 20 equal to 2? No.
So it's D.
So it has to be D, yeah. All right, good. All right, let's have you look at this one. I'm realizing now, so I've there's these geometry ones are really tough in this format because you really need to have this right in front of you, either print it out, but we'll do the best here. And this one doesn't require you to do that. So go ahead and read this problem and see if you can come up with the correct answer.
Quadrilateral ABCD is shown. Which equation shows how the measurements or measures of the angles of the quadrilateral are related? So it's basically I'm going to read it again. Quadrilateral ABCD is shown. So X plus 3, X.
So do you see that all the right-hand sides are 360?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that tells you that you know that's what the angles add up to. They all have to add up to. Remember, I said you either set equal or they add up to something. So they all add up to 360 in this problem. But there's 4 angles. There's the 2x minus 5, the x plus 35, the x, and that
There's
and then what's this
90.
one? Yeah.
90.
So which one has a 90 in it?
A and B.
A and B. So it's definitely not C and D. Now, what I see with B is a multiplier. Did we ever say anything about multiplying?
Multiplication? No. Oh.
So what
So it's
must it
A.
be? Must be
A.
A. Yeah. Do you have to solve for X?
No.
No, you do not. You do not. Okay. All right. So we'll have to do a little bit we'll have to do a little bit of work on this one together, but go ahead and read it. Let me know if you, we'll work on it together, but just go ahead and read it to yourself.
Figure not drawn to scale, by the way. In the figure above, BC and AD are parallel. AB and EC are parallel. CD equals CE. And the measure of ABC is, or of angle ABC is 115 degrees. What is the measure of BCD angle?
So they want the measure of B to C to D. They want this whole angle right here. Okay.
Right.
So if we go back to the parallelogram, and this is important. So in a parallelogram, there's a couple of things that are important to you. So the first is that opposite angles are congruent.
Correct.
Consecutive angles, so this angle over here to the right, have to add up to 180.
So they're
So what is this angle up here in the top right if the consecutive angles have to add up to 180?
90. I'm not sure.
So let's just say this is x. I'm asking you to do 115 plus x equals
Oh, okay,
180.
sorry. 65.
Yes. Okay, so that's 65. So what's the other angle down here in the lower left?
65.
65. Okay, so going back to our picture on the left here, we want that big angle, but this one's 65. Okay, so look at the answers now. Which one is, because it's got to be a little bit bigger than 65, but it can't be too big, right?
So
Which one could it be? Reasonably be.
I'd say A or B.
Okay,
Or
I
no,
agree.
A. I'd say,
I,
yeah.
I agree. It's either A or B. Now, if we do a little bit more here, this is 65 down here. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So this other
Wait,
angle right
no.
here. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
sorry.
It's not 65. It's 115. I'm missing up. I'm giving you the next answer. So this one right here is 65 because they got to add up to
180.
180. Okay. So now, it's like, well, what angle could it be? Well, it definitely can't be. So that gives you a little bit more insight here into how to do this, but it kind of looks like this one has to be around 60. So this 115 is too big is the point. And it must be A. And with these visual ones, you can do a little bit more of just kind of like working your way through it without actually doing the problem.
Remembering to put it equal
Yes.
to something.
Yes. All right, so let's look at another one here. Yeah, this is a good one.
Not trying to scale. In the figure above, line L and M are parallel. Y equals 20 and Z equals 60. What is the value of X? So, line of figure above, line L. M are parallel. So, plug in. Hold on, I'm gonna write something down.
Okay, so which values do they give you? Did they give you X, Y, or Z in this?
Y and Z.
They give you Y and Z. Now I know you can't do this. So I'm going to do it for you. That's 20 and that's 60. It's really good to plug those numbers in when you have it. So are L and M, are they parallel?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the transversal. So this one's 20. Okay, what must this angle be right up here?
20.
Also 20. What do the three angles in a triangle add up to?
180. So X equals 100.
Got it. Now on the test, you'll obviously have it where you can um, write it down on your own, or you'll be able to write the numbers down, and it's a little bit tough on here. So
I
you
know a
actually,
really funny triangle.
all right. So I'd like you to try this one on your own. If you need to, you can draw it out.
Okay. Triangle ABC. Extended. X equals 40. Y equals 120. Nope. 140. See?
Yes, it is C. All right, so here's another problem I think you can try on your own. Make it a little bigger.
Not trying to scale. In the figure above, AD intersects BE at C. If X equals 100, what is the value of Y? 100 C equals 40. 40 plus 40. Y equals A.
You're convinced it's 100. So let's work it out here. This is 100 up here for X. So that makes this 60. These angles are congruent 60. 60 plus 40 is 80. So Y must be 100.
No, I did that wrong.
So you got the
80.
right. Okay, yeah, so the correct answer is 80. Good. All right.
I put C equals 40 by accident.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. You this angle, then that's why you got that answer. Got it. Okay, that's fine. All right, so let me give you another problem to try here. It's good that you're trying them on your own. Don't think of it in terms of like getting, right or wrong. Just
In the figure above, point B lies on AD line. What is the value of 3x? So 90. X plus 2x plus 2x equals 90. 5x equals 30. 90 divided by 5 is 20 minus 10. X equals 18 times 3 is I have not a clue.
no idea.
3x equals 54.
Yes, that is the correct answer. Now, I heard a lot of the right things. You have to recognize that the whole angle is 180, but they've already chewed off 90 of it. So X plus 2X plus 2X has to equal 90. So 5X equals 90. And I think you got X equals 18. And that you might think that's the answer, but what have we said over and over again about A?
Double check.
Double check. 3
Had to
times
miss.
X. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 54. That was a hard one for my brain. Not gonna lie. The multiplying 18 by 3.
All right, good. Okay, so let's move on to another topic here. Which one did I thought we had done? Nope, not that one.
8, 16, 4.
Okay, so we're going to look at a couple of all right, so we're going to move to a few more story problems. So go ahead and try this out. And
About how many Earth masses of nickel 56 were when a star exploded? The function N models the amount of nickel 56 in Earth masses, meaning T days after a massive star explodes. About how many Earth masses of nickel star exploded?
So here's what I want you to do. I want you to look at the answers and I want you to tell me about the numbers and like looking at the graph, like where is 3,000 on the graph?
Under 5,000, just a little
Right, so
bit,
it's somewhere over here. Great. How about the 8,000?
just above.
Right there, and then 12,000 is
A bit
there.
higher.
Where 24,000 is right there at the beginning. Okay, now try
Correct.
reading the question one more time and see if you can come up with the answer.
The function N models the amount of nickel 56 in Earth masses remaining T days after a massive star explodes. About how many Earth masses of nickel 56 were there when the star exploded? D.
Yes. Is that a hard question?
No, I
You
didn't
gotta
comprehend.
you gotta read
Didn't
it a couple of
comprehend.
times, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's have you look at another question here. All right, go ahead and read this one and see if you can come up with the right answer.
The equation above estimates the traffic D. What is the best interception of the number 5,640 in its context? The estimate amount increase of data. Oh, my screen went blank. All right, there we go. So traffic is each year. So I'm gonna go with nope. Estimate percent. Nope. Estimate. I'm gonna say I think it's D or B, but I don't know.
Okay, it is one of those. Okay, so let's see if we can get it a little bit further. All right. Now, what is it asking about? Do you see how it's asking about that? So 5,640, where does that appear in the equation?
Right before the 1.9
Yes. Okay.
of
And T is T years after 2010. So in 2010, what is the value of little t?
I think it's the 0
Zero.
million.
Yes, yes, yes. That's awesome. That's great. That's what it's supposed to be. So when you put zero in for t, anything that is zero power goes to one. So this is your initial value. This always represents your initial value.
Of D.
Yes. Now, I know we've looked at some of these before. I think we did it, but we didn't do it though in the context of okay, let's see if we can come up with uh, let's go through some story problems. So we're going to spend a little bit more time here, but let's just take a short break here. Let's take to the 30, and I'll check back with you in a minute or two here, and then we'll keep going on the lesson.
Alrighty.
All right, Elijah, you ready to start back here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I want you to read this to yourself, and you don't have to answer it, but I want you to try and be able to communicate to me what it is that they're describing here.
Okay. So basically, they chose a random 200 people that liked the book and showed them a movie based on the book, and uh, say 190 people disliked it. And it's asking me to look at the answers and write down the one that most appropriately is like saying what it is.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. You read that and you completely understood it, and that's exactly what we need you to be able to do. So now go through the answers and see if you can figure out which one is the best choice.
B.
But you just told me, here's what you just told me. This is really critical. You said 200 people like the book that watch a
Okay,
movie,
okay,
but the
D.
yeah, but
I
most of the
didn't
one.
read all of
Okay, you got to read them all.
them.
Yeah, you can't do that. All right, so yeah, let's do another one here. They're very nuanced. Okay, like you can't like you have to read them all. Like there's no getting out of it. Unfortunately, it's just um, and so maybe a strategy for you is to you know well, I'm not sure. I was thinking maybe to have you do these first, but these take you a lot longer. Maybe save these to the end and do as many as you can with full effort, thing like that. So go ahead and read this problem and see if you can come up with the correct answer.
So it's asking me what is the best way to get 100 members a random survey of the park district, right?
Yeah, they're saying they got to select 100 people, and they want to do it in a way where uh, where it's random as best you can.
I'd say A is the best one because they're
A is
using random.
yes, A is correct. Good. Okay, we'll come back to that these sets of questions. I know it's hard to do a bunch of them in a row. So let me throw at you a few kind of uh, problems I don't know if we've looked at, but we'll just look at a few of these problems here again and see if all right. Okay, so it says in the above function, or I'm sorry, in the function above, b is a constant, b is the intercept. If f of 6 equals 7, what is the value of f of -2? Okay, so right now, if you were to try to put -2 into this function, you would have a problem because you don't know the value of b. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So now on the right, this gives you enough information to find b. Now, which is x and which is f of x?
7 is f of x, right?
That's right. So there's x. So you're going to put, my screen just froze up. So 6 goes in for x and 7 goes in for f of x. There's enough there to solve for b.
Did I do that wrong?
No, this is correct, but I want you to solve for b.
Wait, how is 7 f of x?
You just said that though.
No, because 6 would be because I
six,
did that
six,
wrong.
six has to be x because it's the input. Okay. And that's
Okay.
that's super important.
So what f of 6 is equal to would be f of x.
Yeah, well, so I like to start with figuring out what x is, and x is definitely 6, so the other one must be f of x.
Okay, so you're not playing one of those tricks on me.
No, no, no.
I was just making sure. So solve for b then.
Yes, I want you to solve this for b.
6 equals 3/2, 7. Would the 7 be in parentheses? Yes.
It does not need to be in parentheses. You first need to combine 3/2 and 6.
Or I mean 6 in parentheses.
It doesn't have to be. It's 3/2 times 6/1.
So it'd be 3 and 12. So I'd multiply 3 and 12, which is 36. Right?
Say that again.
36.
3 times 6 is 18 divided by 2.
Oh, 9.
Yeah.
Bring the so b equals -2.
Yes. Now, is that the answer?
No.
No, it's not. So -2 is not the answer, but it kind of looks like it could be. So it's the value of b, though. You have to be able to put that number back in. I know we got a lot of arrows going all over the place, but it's f of x equals 3/2 x minus 2.
So I'd use -2 as the input.
You'd put -2 in for x.
So -2 equals 3, 2. So -4.
Wait,
So
where did you get -4 from?
am I supposed to use the -2 and multiply to the other -2?
No,
Oh, I'm supposed to do it.
yeah, I see. So there's an issue here.
Am I supposed to do the fraction first?
You should multiply first. Yeah. Multiply before you add and subtract.
PEMDAS, my fault. 3 times -2 is -6 divided by 2 is -3.
Yes.
-5.
Yes. -5. Okay. So let me have you do kind of a related question here. Let me give you one.
That one was
Let's
tough.
let's say f of x equals 3/4 x minus 3. I want you to find f of -8 for me.
Times -8 over 1. 316 24, -24, 6, -6. Yes, no, -3,
What's your final answer if you have one?
-9.
-9. Okay. So it's 3/4 times -8, which is -8 over 1.
Yeah,
Okay. So you actually should divide before you multiply. I know a lot of students don't do that, but you really should, because then it becomes 3 times -2, which is -6 minus
6
3.
-3, -9.
Yeah, because if you multiply, the numbers get bigger, and division's bigger when you've got larger numbers. So you just got to keep that in mind. Okay. Yeah, let's see here. Okay. All right, so we're going to a completely different thing here. When you see a big wordy problem like this, you should go right to the last sentence there.
Yes, based on the model, what is the meaning of h to the sec or h2 equals 11 in this
H of 2,
context?
yeah, H of 2 equals 11. So that means that T is 2 and 11 is something else. So now you go back and you read this and you figure out what T is or what the 11 is, which is really H of T, like what they mean physically in the problem.
Both go forward from a height of 3 feet above the ground, assuming no air resistance. The function h defined by h of t equals -16t squared plus 36t plus 3. So models balls height ht in feet.
What are the units of T? What does T represent?
Uh, the seconds.
So T is time, right? So it's 2 seconds. So look at the answers and which ones have 2 seconds in it.
A does,
Okay, so it could be A.
C does, and D does.
D does not.
Oh, my fault. 11 seconds.
Okay, so what does the 11 represent in the problem?
Feet.
Yes, so which does A or C reflect that?
C.
Yes. You seem uncertain, but you know how to do this problem now. You totally understand it. All right, let's go back and do another one of these problems here. All right, so go ahead and see if you can work this all the way through.
Which of the following sampling methods is most appropriate to estimate the proportion of all employees of a company who are satisfied with their job? A retail company has 50 large stores located in different areas throughout a state. A researcher for the company believes that employee job satisfaction varies greatly from store to store. Okay, I'm going to read the question one more time. Which of the following sampling methods is most appropriate to estimate the proportion of all employees of the company who are satisfied with their job? Select one of the 50 stores at a random. Each employee. Selecting 10 employees from each store. Each case surveying the 25 highest paid and the 25 lowest paid. Any website on which employees express their opinions and then using the first 50 responses. I'd say B.
You would be correct. that really didn't take you that long. Whereas maybe, a month ago, you wouldn't have even wanted to try to do this problem. You have enough willingness now to be able to figure that out. That's great. And that's what you need. You really need to be able to persevere and, say, okay, just gonna do it right now. I'm gonna figure this out.
Did it take me like 2 minutes or how long? Or three?
Yeah, closer to 2 minutes, which is fine, because you got the correct answer. That's really important. Okay, because if you're gonna guess immediately, right? But you know how to do it, and that's why that's when you're like, okay, let me just spend the time here, focused, and get it done.
If
All right.
f of x equals 4 minus x and g of x equals 2x squared minus 1, what is value of f of 1 and g of 1? Minus g of 1. So I just take 4 minus x parentheses that and then minus 2x squared minus 1 in parentheses.
You can do that, but because they want it at specific values, you can actually calculate f of 1. Like you can literally say, okay, f of 1 is 4 minus 1. So you're putting that 1 in for x.
Okay.
And g of 1 is
So
2
2
times,
minus 1,
yeah, 2 minus 1. And then what do you do with the answers?
subtract them.
Yes.
So 2.
Yes. Wait, yeah, the answer is 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay. All right, so let's look at another one of these awful questions with lots of words. All right, here we go. Go ahead and see if you can figure this out on your own, please.
Which of the truths about which of the following is true about this council survey? The members of a city council wanted to assess the opinions of all city residents about converting an open field into a dog park. The council surveyed a sample of 500 city residents who own dogs. The survey showed that the majority of those sampled were in favor of the dog park. It shows that the majority of the city residents are in favor of the dog. Nope. Survey sample should have included more residents who are nope. Have consisted entirely of residents who do not own. Survey sample. I should have just read from bottom to top.
What is the answer? Or do you need to,
D.
you think
D.
it's D? Okay.
I
So,
mean, it technically is biased because it is not representing representative of all types, but I guess it would be C as well. I'm not sure.
okay. So we don't want to have some doubt like that. That's the biggest problem here. So who did they survey? What kind of people did they survey?
Only people with dogs.
So what are people? It's like me asking if we should build more basketball courts. What are you going to tell me?
Yeah.
Well, build them as many as fast as possible, right? Yeah.
There's 100,000.
Just like and clear anything in the way, right?
A child hospital gone.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's how ridiculous that is. So yeah, exactly. It is D because of that. And you should have started bottom to top, but does that always work? No. Because if they just said they surveyed 500 residents, then it would have been A. Because if they said without the dog, so one or two words can make the whole difference. But you did all of these story problems correct. 1, 2, that one I helped a little bit. 3, 4. So your biggest concern, your biggest fear was, these types of problems, and you've really figured out how to work through them. All right. Do you have a game plan for test day?
Yes.
Okay. Try to stick to it as much as you can. And if we need to, we'll keep working together, but we'll see. I'd like to hear how you do on it. So if
I'll
you
let you know.
you can either have your dad communicate with me, or you can just send me an email or whatever, whatever you want to do. But I'd like to find out how you think it went. I don't care about your score right now. I want to know if you think it went good, bad, whatever,
Okay.
whatever ends
I'll
up
let you
being.
know.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure to work with you, Elijah, and I hope we
Thank
get
you so
to
much.
work again if we need to. But I'll send you notes here shortly, and catch up. We'll catch up later.
I'll see you later. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
You're welcome. Bye now.